the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame, the only city-sanctioned LGBT Hall of Fame in the world, has announced its slate of 2025 inductees, 19 LGBT-identified individuals and 4 LGBT-identified organizations. And joining us now is one of the founders of the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame, Gary Chichester. Gary, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me back.
Oh, my
Hello,
God.
Tanya.
Hi.
So, can you tell folks a little bit about the history of the Hall of Fame? I always forget that Chicago is the only city in the world
That's so cool.
that has a city-sanctioned Hall of Fame for us.
Well, when the mayor of Washington was mayor of the city, he encompassed LGBT folks into the Commission on Human Relations. And that started, became one of 8 different consuls on the Council on Human Relations. And what we wanted to look, now that we had a seat at the table, we wanted to do something that would bring attention to the community. So the Women's Council at the time was doing a Hall of Fame. We thought it was a good idea, and that Tom Domkowski, Linda Rogers, and others decided to start the Hall of Fame in the LGBT community. The Women's Council stopped doing it, but we continued on now for the past this will be our 34th annual induction ceremony coming up this Thursday at the Chicago History Museum at 5:30. And if you go online to www.chicagolgbthalloffame.org, you'll be able to register and come to the event. It's going to be I think, a very large and well-attended event this year.
Yeah,
it's very exciting.
This class is just extraordinary, first of all, and I think also
we agree on that.
Yeah, and I think that just right now the community needs community. We need fellowship. We need to be with each other to celebrate our works and to lift each other up. What exactly is the process of getting inducted into the Hall of Fame?
We ask for inductee nominations from the community that send them in. And, a couple months ago, we put a feeder out to, put nominations in. Then a selection committee made up of past individual inductees make the final decision on those nominations that were submitted. And then the selection is made from those.
Well, and as I said, this new class of inductees are just some extraordinary people, several of whom are friends of the show. Can you tell us a little bit about the new class of 2025?
Well, there's so many of them now. We have everyone from theater to sports to community activism, television folks. And if you've been to a pride parade in the last 10 years, you realize all those beautiful balloons were nominating Tommy DeLorenzo, Balloons by Tommy, who passed away. And we're very excited about that because he brought such joy to the community. You have people like Precious, Davis, and, who else? Jerry Dunn. There's all kinds. Alex Perez from NBC or ABC. Yanni Pizer, who's Mike Quigley's liaison to the community. It's just a wonderful group. And as far as organizations, we have Chicago Prime Timers, we have Chicago Gender Society, the Chicago Pride Bowling League, and Onks Midwest, which is a African-American leather group. So
Awesome.
it's well covered. It's a real diverse crowd this year.
It really, you've got Water Commissioner Precious Brady Davis, who...
Right.
Talk about an unstoppable force. That woman.
I can't wait to see what she's wearing.
Oh, that's the other thing, too. What is she going to show up in?
I know.
And then you have Richard Knight Jr., who has been so active within the late night world, because he used to run, I think it was Limelight.
Wild Chicago, yeah.
The Wild Chicago, but then also he was a part of, helped book with the Reeling International Film Festival. He was a cabaret person and with his Dick O'Day personality. Jerry Nunn, who has been working in media with Windy City Times and Windy City News Group, as well as WGN, and he just shows up everywhere too. He's kind of like, there he is. It's
and
very,
that's why it's such a large group this year, because we don't want to forget anybody, because we should not be forgotten. That's the big thing. That's why we do the Hall of Fame. We have to keep our sexuality out in the public so we're not erased.
Yeah. And are you partnering at all with, I know Victor Salvo from the Legacy Project.
Yes.
Do you partner with them? Because I know he right now is, well, not right now. His life's work has been making sure that LGBTQ history is still with us, is brought along with us. And
that's the international, and the difference is that we're Chicago based.
Right.
It's our contribution, the contributions of to Chicago and Chicago's LGBT community are what we are looking for. Whereas Victor and Legacy Project, they go out in a international way and bring people of renown, actually all of which have passed. So that's one of the conditions the Legacy Project has. And it's the only walking museum display on Halsted Street in the world, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is. It is indeed the only one in the world. And I do love the fact that the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame, again, is continuing to keep history alive. You know, even though these folks most of the folks are still with us, they're still making history. You know, they're still doing things and have a wonderful storied career of activism or entertainment, or even activism through entertainment. You know, there are many different ways to lift up the community, and I think it's so wonderful that we here in Chicago have the only city-sanctioned LGBT Hall of Fame in the world. And that has to do a lot with your work, because weren't you one of the organizers of the very first Pride Parade?
Oh, my God.
I wasn't an organizer. I was a member of the Chicago Gay Liberation Group, which actually organized that march. And because we did it a day earlier than New York or L.A., we are officially the first Pride March in the world, which was 150 people, and now it's 150 million people. I'm very proud about that. And I'm working on with Yanni Peiser and Mike Quigley to put a monument at the Bug House Square, which is Washington Park, to commemorate that piece of history.
I want
and have a national park. Okay.
It's your next project for me, for you, you know?
Okay.
The stories they just must be so rich and so vast.
Well, we have Chicago and Illinois has such a rich history for LGBT issues.
Yes.
We're very lucky in this day and age to be in this city and in this state. You know, in 1961, excuse me. 1961, the sodomy laws in the state of Illinois were overturned. So we were actually the first state in the Union to allow relationships between same-sex couples without fear of being arrested or, some people can be put to death in some states still on the books.
Wow.
So you have to be kind of careful about what you do and what state you do it in. And one thing I'd like to also recommend is coming up this next Friday, the Same-Sex Marriage Act is being considered in the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. And if you're in love and want to get married, I would suggest heavily to go down to City Hall, get married. You can always throw the party down the line. But at least it would put a little crimp in this fight against LGBT marriage.
Well said.
Yes. There's a lot going on right now.
Yep.
I do want to revisit the first Pride Parade in the country. Can you just paint the picture of what that was like to be a part of the gay liberation movement?
It was 150 kind of radical hippies back in the day, and it was the first anniversary of the Stonewall riot. So we gathered. There was no permit necessary for Bughouse Square. It was a permit-free area. And we gathered there because we didn't have to go through the process of applying for a permit. So from there, we gathered, we marched, made a few speeches, and then we started marching down Michigan Avenue on a Saturday afternoon, and it kind of blew people away. I don't know if people you see the reactions of knowing that queers were marching for civil rights back in 1970.
Wow, that's incredible.
We ended up down at the Civic Center, now known as the Daly Center, and did our obligatory, I danced around the Picasso statue.
Oh my gosh!
Which makes us fabulous, and that was kind of the first march.
And then it's just amazing. That is
what an image! I just am imagining that, the dancing around the.
And I love that you brought up the reaction of the crowds on Michigan Avenue to see a group that has been so much marginalized and maligned standing up and making a difference. Even if it was just, I say just 150, but in 1970, that was a lot of people.
And the boldness that comes with that. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, one of my favorite pictures of that particular march was the group going down Randolph Street under the marquee of the old United Artists Theater where Myra Breckinridge was playing. So I thought that was kind of wrapped it all up. The protesters on the sidewalk and Myra Breckinridge in the theater.
Are there pictures anywhere archived, or are these your personal pictures?
I have personal pictures, and you can go on. Actually, I'd have to contact me, and I'll send you some.
I mean, it's things like this that inspire us, right? And there's something so beautiful about what you're describing. So I actually will reach out, because I would love to see the pictures.
Yeah,
just give me a call, and I can send you the photograph.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there is something so pertinent about hearing that story of the first Pride Parade, in the country, but just the first Pride Parade here in Chicago. To see, again, to look at what seemingly overwhelming odds of getting civil rights legislation passed and moving forward, and to see how, in a relatively short span of time, we're still under attack, but how far we as a community have come, and it's because of people who were brave enough just to step outside their house. I keep bringing this whole moment back to a Greek tragedy and the Greek chorus, because the chorus is made up a group of individuals with a like-minded philosophy, and all it takes, the one thing that they all have in common as well, is they left the house to say something in public. And I think that is such a powerful message to keep repeating to folks out there during these crazy times.
I recommend to make noise whenever you can.
Amen to that, Gary. Amen to that.
You just go up and make noise. The more noise we make, it is about the squeaky wheel. Well, I know that most of the queers I know are all very squeaky.
Well, I'm a little creaky right here. Tanya and I have been complaining about our hips both over here. So. But look, if we want to keep squeaky wheeling and celebrating and lifting voices and lifting people up within our community, make sure you check out the annual Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's scheduled to take place next Thursday, November 6th at 5:30 p.m. at the Chicago History Museum. A fantastic space and a perfect place to be honoring living history right here in Chicago. The ceremony is free. It's open to the public. And to register, as Gary said, go to ChicagoLGBTHallOfFame.org. www.chicchester.org/RSVP. That should take you right to the page where you can just register and to go check out and support these incredible individuals. Gary
Actually,
Chichester.
if you get there early, they're opening up the Design for Change exhibit, especially for the group, which it basically does how graphic arts back in the late 60s and early 70s have brought all the various, from anti-war to civil rights to women's movement to LGBT movement, brought them all together, and we learned from everybody. We might not have agreed on everything, but we learned how to do this before, because gays never did it before until the 1970s. So that's going to be open until the ceremony starts on Thursday.
Oh, well, so what time should people get there? Or they can get there at
4:30. 4:30.
4:30?
All right. Go see the exhibit, yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing. Gary Chichester, thank you for all you do. Congratulations on an outstanding new class of inductees to the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame, and have a fantastic event on Thursday, November 6th.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you, Tanya.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.